Hello everybody, I'm Serta and welcome back to Foundry. As you can see, we're power back. Everything's working again. I'll go through how I did that, but it does include a really big freighter that is parked over there. But I need to start thinking about, okay, first of all, reducing costs. Right now, we are using a lot of ignium powder in our facility on that side to make olumic acid, and that uses 120 per minute. Now, we're probably not using 120 per minute, but we're still using quite a lot. The tier 2 ore crushers, I think, only make about 24 per minute of that. Yeah, something like that, or maybe it's not, because it makes 5 per cycle. Alright, I'll have to have a look at that, but I need to replace that. We need to stop importing it because it's adding to our costs. We also need to make construction materials because we're ordering those, and that's adding to our costs every time we do a space station upgrade. We need to get to the higher tier belts, which is why I have just finished researching robot components. And we need to start cutting down our debt because that's another cost. The more we can reduce those costs, the better our profit will be. Anyway, and we got all of that. So that's the start to what I'm planning. But there's a heck of a lot of work to go in before we can get everything up and running, and I will run through it and we'll do some mining and processing and eventually start making a lot of drones and robots. So let's get stuck in. Let's have a look at how I fixed the power up. I found an ignium vein. If we have a look at the map, just over there, and I've made a little facility. Basically the same as what we've got for the deep mine, but less solar panels and just the regular drone miners. And there's a cargo freighter pad. This is the target pad. I've set it up to receive the ignium. Okay, so this is one of the issues I have. I have named this target pad ignium temp. On the other side, I have to go and set the name, but I have to type it in. There's no like drop down or easy way to do it. So if you make a spelling mistake, then it won't work. Anyway, so just remember that. And as you can see, this is emptying out and it will shoot back over to the ignium and collect more when it's needed. At the moment, we are pretty good. So what I've done here, because I do want to deplete this little node that we've got, I did bury it. And it looks like, oh yes, it is depleted. And yes, to kickstart the whole system, I had to put a couple of these little biomass burners in just to get everything running again so that the ignium would come in. Anyway, this is all done now, so I'll clean that up at some point. And then this belt comes in and it went into a balancer, and I set the priority to be this little mine so that I could get it emptied out. Now that that's done, we actually don't need this anymore. But yeah, we have power for days. But we are going to run out of days at some point, so we need to make a better plan with that. And what I have in mind for that is these ignium fuel rods. But as you can see, they're quite expensive. They need the casing. The casing needs the advanced machinery parts and steel beams, so it's double steel. So those go into the ignium fuel rods with wire, ignium powder, and liquid fuel. Quite a process, but if you have a look at it, the fuel value is 400 megajoules, whereas the ignium I think is only 10. So that's something that we're going to need to set up. We're also going to need thermalite plates, more of them. I will set up a facility because it just so happens that on my route over here, we have a look at the map, I have a lava cave shaft right there, like there. So making the thermalite plates won't be a problem. But let's go and have a look at this big area. So I've got a bunch of target platforms over here. This one currently is set to the xenoferrite. So once I've got that all working, the xenoferrite will come through. I basically just need to set the target on the one at the mine. So that will bring stuff in, and I also need to upscale that. And then what I've done is I've taken this belt with the raw ore over to some crushers. Now, the way these crushers work and the ratios, you put in 80 of the ore rubble, you get out 80 of the ore. And if you have 3 of these, you have just enough to come over here. Okay, now it's not going to show it here, but if you work out the numbers, you're basically putting 30 into one of these advanced smelters and you're getting 45 out. So by putting 240 in, you're getting 360 out. So that's pretty good. And if we have a setup like this with 16 smelters, then you're getting 720 out. Now right now we don't have a belt that can handle more than 640. That's these, the Mark 3s. But we have the ability to make Mark 4s eventually. And Mark 4s, as you can see, will need hydraulic pistons, which have just been unlocked with the robot parts. So should be in our buildables. And there they are. Hydraulic pistons. And for that we need steel and low density olumite. All right, so there's quite a lot that needs to be done, and all of this needs power as well. So I need to expand my power facility. I am still going to use the boilers and the turbines, and I'm going to have a bank of them, but at the same time, I'm going to start putting a solar panel facility up over there as well. Now, the cool thing about this little setup that I've got over here is we can just double it, getting 1440 out, but that's quite a lot of input. So that's something I'd have to scale up, and even this I'm going to scale up. I will switch off the power to 3 of the crushers and 8 of the smelters, and then just get that going. And as we build up our power, we'll be able to switch more and more of these things on, because there's going to be quite a few machines all the way down in that direction. So I've got one set up for the xenoferrite, I've got one for the technum, I have one for the ignium, and I have one for the mineral rock. Now, mineral rock, I haven't found a vein yet. I'm going to have to mine it, and back to the map, just to the north on the mountains is a mineral rock deposit, and it's quite a big one. So I'm going to milk that one. And this very first one here, this is for the Olumite. And as you can see, the cargo ship for this actually carries the liquid itself, so you don't need to barrel it. That was something I wasn't completely sure about, but yeah, there we go. The only thing with these is they do take up a lot of space. And the catwalks around the edge. These come with the freighter pads, but you can add catwalks and make them join together. I suppose if I'd actually put them right together, then that would have worked as well, and it would have just removed all the rails. But I kind of like this. I do like the separation. Anyway, this kind of setup is going to be the same for the technum down in this direction, and then we're going to do something different for the ignium. And then over here, this is where I believe I am going to be setting up the steel. And the steel has a new process because we have this stuff. Let's have a look at the xenoferrite. We've got tier 2 xenoferrite plates, and the only reason it's tier 2 is because we are making those plates from the refined xenoferrite ore. Now, the same applies to the steel beams. Now, normally you would have to mix the xenoferrite and the ignium, and then put it into a smelter, and you'd get out the steel beams. But if you refine both of these, and then you mix them together, same ratio, 4 and 2, then you get steel beams tier 2. And that's putting out 2 steel beams every 4 seconds from an advanced smelter, whereas this recipe was only putting out 1, so that's pretty good. So like I said, I wanted to cut down costs, so I need to start focusing on getting our ignium powder setup done, and I'd also like to get set up with construction materials. That's going to be a little bit down the line. It does need concrete, it needs electronic components, it doesn't need a lot of them, but I would like to have a lot of these being produced. Because I mean, some of the constructions that we're going to do are going to take like 20 or 30,000 of these. So we need a lot, and we need to be able to store them and have them available. Anyway, so that's my thinking, but all of that needs a lot of setup. And I'm currently not researching anything. So let's go and have a look at what we can research. I think I'm going to do the CPU production. I could do the construction industry research. I don't know. What's going to be more important? I don't know if I'm going to necessarily build any of these big structures until I have the power for them. So let's do the CPU. It's not going to be, it's not going to matter. I'm going to have all of these research before I even get close to doing any of this stuff. But we could also check out the hull expansion. Anyway, let's start that research. And that's going to open up a whole lot of stuff for us. A new machine, electric arc furnace, and a whole bunch of steps involved in making the CPUs with various other machines. All right, so just to look at this slowly, I have the xenoferrite ore rubble coming into these crushers. The crushers then turn that into the ore. The ore goes down that line, outputs from the crushers and inputs into the smelters. The smelters then output that onto a belt, and that goes through to a storage. So pretty simple setup, and I've set it up so that I can double up if I need to. That might mean I would need a little bit more mining. Right, so I'm just going to get myself prepared with everything that I need to just head over to an ignium node, which I think was way down south. Yeah, there we go. And that has 15 drill points, so yeah, we can get a lot out of that. And it's very far away. So yeah, I'd like to get that vein set up. But before I do that, you'll notice that my toolbar now has 4 bars. And the way you can do that is, if you go into your settings, under gameplay, scroll down, you can set that amount up to 10 if you like. So yeah, I thought that was an interesting thing to know. Also, I did get the jetpack speed upgrade, the first one. And I have to say, it is pretty quick. Certainly helps getting around a lot easier. Anyway, let me get myself set up and I'll be back. Right, I think I have everything that I need. I have a lot of platforms starting at the top. I have some solar panels. I have some batteries. I have the power poles, the small ones. Yep. I have an elevator right there. I have a couple of freight elevators, tier 2. And then down the bottom, I also have transformers. I have the wall-mounted power poles. I've got lights. I have miners, ore vein miners. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. I think I've got everything covered. Cool, that just means a long flight to the south. And that means going from where our factory is all the way down here. So yeah, a little bit southeast. One of the most important things I actually did forget was the explosives. Jeez, you know. Alright, those are being done and they can happen while I'm flying down there. And awesome, this node looks like it is in the snow biome. That is pretty cool. And we're almost here. I think it's this area. Yep. We are basically right over it. So let me see. Yeah, this is it. Now, let's have a look at our space. Yeah, we could go over in this direction. So let's pull out our scanner and see where this is. Oh, wow. Okay, so thinking probably come down over here. All right, let's get some platforms up. And I'm going to elevate this. So we'll do that. And then we can expand out from here. Yes, I think that's going to work. If I put the elevator over here, so right in about there. Awesome. I think I've removed the platforms. No, maybe not. Probably just a couple more to take out. That should be clear. And then my solar array will go up in this area, batteries next to it. Immediately put down a transformer. Now, obviously, we can scale these setups as well. Let's do, for now, we'll do 3. And I think probably 3 solar panels as well. They're a bit bigger, so I'm going to need to create a bit more space for them. And chop down some trees because they're in the way. And, of course, possibly pick up new tree seeds. Whoops. No, just got biomass. But those are all in. Let's connect them all up. Oh, and it was mentioned to me that I forgot to reconnect, I think, my transformer or the batteries on the xenoferrite mine when I changed the pole. There we go. I think that's all sorted out over there. Then I will get myself a freight elevator. We'll just do 1 level for now on this. I think maybe I'll put it that way. Yeah, I'll put it that way. And there will be more levels, so in fact, let's have a look at how many levels there are on this one. Because with 15 nodes, or veins, there's going to be quite a few. Okay, there's a 92, a 58, and an 18, so there are 3 levels. Yeah, I'm going to have some serious cleaning out to do. But for now, I'm just going to put a separator in, and then that one, and then I'm going to delete this because I didn't bring enough for 3 tops and bottoms. I only bought 3. Anyway, so that'll be the last one. At least I know where I'm going. And then I need to do some platform extensions. So I don't need any more space. Well, I will later, but I don't need any more space out here right now. But what I do need is a space for the storage box over here, and then a large space of, I think 32 by 32 over here. And you can see a top middle where the size is. So let's go out 32 by 32. There we go. And then I'll just chop down everything and fill in the holes. So that should sort, oh, wait, one more. And that should sort that out. So let's make sure that our platform can go down. There's our cargo shuttle start pad. And this time I will rotate it so that the controls are on this side. I think that looks about right. That looks great. And then I'm just going to drag this out to here so that we can access all of those ports. Put the big box in over here, and then I can run belts. I'm not sure how many belts I'm going to bring up, but you know, I can do as many as I like. And there'll be belts coming from this one to go somewhere, and then from that one, yep. And then we will do 3 over here as well. Grab our loaders, and this is an input, and then we have the outputs from the storage, and then the inputs on the other side. And the outputs from the lift. There we go. So I think that is pretty much everything organized upstairs. I haven't set the name, the target location yet, but that's fine. I'll do it when we get back. First, we need to open. We're at 140. Oh, hang on. It was 92, right? Just to double check. Yeah, 92 was the top one. So that's where we're going first. RG vein ground would be this one. Good. And add a station, RG vein 92. And that will be at height 92. That's all good. Confirm. Right, and that's gonna, I probably should have done that earlier. Now I'm gonna have to wait for it to finish. But at least we're charging on this side. Yeah, I'm gonna have to visit the xenoferrite one and just reconnect those batteries. Thanks for the comments pointing that out. Probably would have stressed myself to death at some point. Right, it's working its way down. It's at 106 now, and we're heading down to 92. And we've just finished CPU production. So let's see what else we can research. Freight elevators 3. What do they need? Hydraulic pistons. Alright, we're not there yet. Let's get started with construction industry. We're going to need it at some point. Not now, but yeah, we will. And we are at 92, so let's go down and whip out those explosives. Good, we're here. Welcome to level 92. So let's see, where are we heading? So we've got one over there, the other one's on that side, and the other one's over on that side. Wow, I didn't make this one easier. I should have maybe set up on the other side. Anyway, this is not too far away. We'll go there. And we found it. Alright. Oh wait, this looks like a big one. So we'll clear out. Yes, I think it is a big one. Now, occasionally, or often, you will come across these kind of double nodes where you can put 2 miners. So that's quite a good find. And it's not too far away from the lift, so that's good. Right, and we've cleared out quite a big area. Not sure if it's enough, because the next one is around the corner. So I will just clear a bit more. Great, that should be enough. And if I land on my newly placed platform, I am at 92. Awesome. Alright, let's see how this works out. So we'll put a miner in there, and if I've done the first one right, I should get the second one in without a problem. Excellent. And after a little bit more blasting, I can bring this floor through. I'm not going to do anything fancy here. Literally just like that. Because we don't need loaders, but we do need lights. Speaking of which, I have some, but I'm going to do the belts first. So before I carry on, there's a little bit of extra work to do down here. I need space for my transformer, and I need space for my lift. And I am running super low on platforms. Yeah, that's not great. So I'll do the minimum. Oh, you're serious? Already done. Alright, I might need to trim a few out where they're not needed. And see if I can get this in. I think I can. Oh, there we go. So, just enough. I might need to knock a couple more out. I can always change belts later. So let's get our transformer in. Yeah, I came down here with a couple of 1,000 platforms and they're already gone. I mean, just the platform underneath the freighter platform was near on 1,000. Let's get some belts in here. So I can merge these, and I think that's what I'm going to do because they produce 160 each. Oh, and I messed up the power at the transformer. I need to go and fix that. Right, and that goes in there, and we'll have a belt coming out. I'll take it from here and just squeeze it down to the end and pop it in over there. And with the loader input like that, that will be 320. This is a 640 belt, so merging those two is just fine. Let me fix this up. So take that cable out from there to there and to there. Now it should all work, and those should start booting up. And I brought the new lights as was suggested. And these will be a little bit better for down here because I don't have to worry about them being on the ceiling. But hold on, if I put it there, it doesn't work because it has to be on a platform. Alright, just wanted to confirm. No grid connection. Oh yes, of course. So the last thing to do is grab that, put that on the ceiling, grab the cable, connect it to there, connect all the way over to our miners. And that will be able to continue down that way, and then I can put that into there, and oh, they only have 3 connections. Quick repair. So connect from there to above this one, and then above this one, and then out. Connect to that, connect to that, and we have power. Excellent. Grid stats. Grid stats were fine. The solar panels are making 1.3. The ore vein miners are using a total of 1. We're good. Actually, we aren't. Yeah, I think the cargo shuttle pad uses 300. Ah, we're right on the edge. And if we add the loaders in, then we're over. So I'll have to put another solar panel up. But, yep, there we go. This is still digging down, I assume. Why is it taking so long though? Alright, well, let's head up to the top and see what's going on. And we have researched the construction industry. We're going to get to that. I'm a little bit ahead of the game at the moment, so no, I'm not quite ready to do that. Yeah, this is not actually working. Why is that? Did I position it incorrectly? Alright, I'm going to need to check again. But before I go down, I'm going to put another solar panel in. I'm going to have to squeeze it in, and I'll come back and fix it at some point. Because I don't have any more platforms left. So for now, it's going there. Hopefully that works. I'm very concerned about why this isn't working. Maybe I misplaced it somehow. Oh, you know what? Oh, I don't think I cleared out the platforms underneath it. So it's got nothing to do with anything down here. We'll go back up. Right, so basically, I just need to clear out the platforms. Well, that would have given me some extra platforms. So if I grab all of that, and I make the height 1, there we go. What am I missing? It's still not working. Oh, it is. There we go. Alright, good. So once that's down, it'll start bringing the ignium up, and I can come over here and set this, because I've already created a name, so on the other side it's called IG drop. We'll save that. And now I just have to wait for the lift to get down to the bottom. I'll pop down and follow the material up just to make sure that everything is actually working. It's working. Fantastic. Alright, well, I can come back and tidy things up over here a little bit and reach around to the other veins that we can mine. But I don't want to fly back, I want to catch a lift back on the ship. So let's get there before it fills up. Alright, so it hasn't arrived up here yet. It will shortly. There we go. It's the first bunch, and it's being split. It doesn't matter, we're still getting the same amount. And it's running straight through to our ship over here, so why is this door not open? Strange that it's not open. But as you can see, this is filling up at a rate of 320 per minute. And just a final check on the grid stats. Excellent, we're ahead of the game now. Maybe I can squeeze one more battery in here just for safety. And connect it up. Okay, so that's working. Now in this panel, we can actually set takeoff conditions, so we don't need to necessarily have it full. We can come in here and we can say it needs to be like 50% full, or if it's been here for a certain amount of time, we can change that. We can say, all right, 30 seconds and then off you go again. Right, we're almost full, so let's hop on the ship and catch a lift back, hopefully. Hey, Captain. And there we go. Now, we don't move with the ship, except for up and down, side to side. If the ship turns, our orientation sort of stays the same. Anyway, it goes quite high and flies over, and we're going all the way back to our platform. And there's our row of target platforms coming into view. It looks really good. And it'll fly over the top and then drop straight down. Fantastic. And now it's got nowhere to offload. So the ramp worked now. So we can come over here and sort out some conveyors. I think for now, I'm just going to do 2 input loaders, output loaders on that side. And there it goes. This will start filling up. Once the ship is empty, it will return to fetch another load. Beautiful. The skies are going to get super busy in this place. All right, so that's the ignium, and we have the xenoferrite. So we have what we need to also make the steel. Now, I will, between episodes, think about how I'm going to lay out the xenoferrite, because I also want to make the xenoferrite powder, and I want to make a bit of it, because we're also going to need to send some across to the other facility to make sure that that keeps running when we cancel our recurring order. But the next thing I'd like to do is set up for the olumite to come in as well, because that's one of the other things that we need for the fuel rods. And that requires a different platform. I'm going to need to just top everything up. Fortunately, I don't have to go underground, so I don't need as many platforms, but I still need quite a few. And I'll just make sure that I am set up for everything that I need over there. The pump jacks, I think they only use 200. Let me just make sure. Yeah, 200 kilowatts. So I don't need a lot of solar panels. I will probably only need 2, and then a couple of batteries. So I will top up my supplies. And I have already made myself a liquid starting pad, so I'm going to take that. I've got another target pad for whatever reason. I can't remember why I had that. I think I made it by mistake. But I'm going to need to make more. I don't need freight elevators for this one, so that's actually, you know what, I'm going to need to make more anyway, so I might as well. Just auto sort to see what I don't need. So I've got some stone, I've got some biomass I need to get rid of. For this one we need pipe. I need a lot of pipe and I don't have many, so I'm going to go get some more. I'll just grab a couple of stacks. I think 200 should be fine. Now this is purely above ground. I will need a transformer. I think I have a transformer. Yes, I got transformers. I got poles. I don't need lights. I don't need the wall-mounted poles. I do need a fluid storage. Do I have a fluid storage? Yes, I do. Now, when we get to the large constructions, we'll be able to unlock a large fluid storage tank. And I feel like this is a really good location for it. We go in, okay, we're not doing any research at the moment, but there is the modular storage tank and the base is a 25 by 25. So good. But what is the prerequisite for that? Oh, we need pipelines. Not crazy important right now. Spatial fuel production would be good. That will also knock down our costs a bit. Let's see what's involved with that. Vermalite, ignium powder, liquid fuel, water. Very similar to our ignium fuel rods. Interesting. I think I could have those close together. Yeah, let's research that. And then just confirm what I called this. I think it was OL drop. Yep, OL drop. And on the map, I found this node that is quite large. So that's the one I'm going to tap. And I'm probably going to need more than 4 pump jacks for the eventual production. So that's, I think I need to make a couple more of those. All right, well, I'm making 10. We'll have 10. I think that means that I have everything. So let's head out there. We have a look at the map. Yep, I'm heading in the right direction. And we're actually going to head over a Technum node that I exposed because I thought that I might need it. Although our Technums lasted a really long time, but yep, here's a Technum node. So we should be, yep, right here. It's a good one. All right, let's start setting up pump jacks. I think I might go with 6. Yeah, that'll be 1200 power. Can I dangle? Yeah, I can. There we go. All right, I'm gonna have to find a place to put our landing pad, probably just over in this direction. So that means that I can do some pipe work. I think I'll do that, and then I will put junctions in. So 4-way. Now this I'm gonna put here because I may get more of them, and then I think I'll elevate the platform just a little bit. So that's going to use 1200 power, which should easily be handled by 2 solar panels. But because we may come back later and we're also going to have loaders, I might put in a couple more. So let's take this platform and we'll take it up to that level. Right there, that looks good. And I'll just start off with a platform for the batteries and solar panels. That'll be over there. The juice will come up over here and then feed in this way, and then I need to do my 32 by 32 very large platform out in that direction. Cool. Then a little bit of cleanup work and we can plug that all in. Oh, I unlocked a mining laser and I didn't build it. I have to do that when I get back. That'll make all of this process a lot easier. So solar panels first, and if I put starting from here, that one went off the line a little. I'll just replace that. Okay, and then I have space for some batteries. So I'll do the same. I'll just put down 3 batteries. We're going to need to connect all of these up to there, and then this down to a pole, which will then feed down here. Oh, you know what? 3 connections. So we'll put another pole over there, because now this one is going to come down to here, feed into those machines. Well, somehow I stuck another pole in here. Okay, so 1 to there, 1 to there, and that one's clipping. Can you believe it? All right, well, that's in now. Let's do this side. I'll give it a little bit more space, and that's clipping. Come on now. And those should all get power once the solar panels are connected up. So connect, and into this pole, and they start pumping. Excellent. Yeah, I didn't finish my cleanup. Right, so that's all set up. We have power. The only thing I haven't... You know what? We actually don't need a transformer here because we're not using loaders. Well, we're going to find out if the freight platform needs power in a moment. So cargo shuttle pad liquids. I think I'm going to have this one a little bit off to this side. Yeah, there we go. I think that should be good. And yes, it does need power. So we need a transformer. So 1 transformer down and connect it up. Everything appears to be working. Okay, those have stopped because they're obviously full. And that reminds me, I don't have a storage. So I will put one of those in and see if I can line it up. No, I'm not going to be able to. That's fine. I will get it as close as I can. That should be good. So we're going to run the pipe through that. Right, now we just need to get the pipe sorted out. The bend up there, straight in there, and then bring that up to here should be good. So we'll put that into position. Get that straight piece in, get that in, and then the final little bend right in there. Perfect. Now, are we getting the stuff? I have to say, it's a bit difficult to tell with Olimite, but yes, we are. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Oh, and I've duffed this because I should have come one over to dodge the stairs. Oh well, it just won't be a straight line. And if I'm right, these plug in. I don't know how many I need. So I'm just putting a whole bunch in here. Not sure if this makes it faster at all. So we'll just get all of that set up. I'm not going to bother with the last one. Bend in there and a bend in there and connect the pipe. Let's see how this works. All right, good. Now I don't know how much it stores and we haven't set the destination yet. So let's set that to OL drop and save. I'll be interested to know how much it stores. But it's a different ship, and the robot is yellow. I may not be catching a look back with this guy because I want to see at what point it's filled. It's more than 10,000, so it could be 20,000. And while I'm here, I might as well check out the grid stats. Batteries are going up. We're only using 400 kilowatts. Maybe, yeah, that's quite odd actually. I wonder if I should have more pipes going to make it faster. I mean, I don't know if that makes a difference. Oh, you know why? I haven't pulled in the missing pipes over here. So there and there. That should get things rolling a bit quicker. Oh yeah. Oh, huge amount faster. All right, now we can have a look at the grid stats. 1.9, we're using 1.2. The transformer is only using 300. Oh, we got more than enough. We could put some more pump jacks down if we wanted to. But it's more than 20,000, and we're at 94%. All right, cool. So it's going to be like 25,000. And we should be ready to leave in a moment. There we go. And our little buffer tank will fill up while the ship is away. And be ready to load the ship when it gets back. Perfect. And we have arrived. A hard landing. And this will now unload. I think I'm just going to put the one pipe in. And this is going to start. Yep. 25,300 is the volume that this tank holds. So maybe it's the same volume that the ship holds. How awesome is that? Anyway, I'm going to leave these here for now. They don't belong here. I just use them so I could see what the recipes are for this advanced smelter. That's fantastic. Okay, so we've got Olimite, we've got Ignium. We are in a good position to just about start. Okay, I'm going to need to bring Technum in as well to get started on the fuel rods, because just to remind ourselves here, so we need the Ignium and the Xenoferrite. To make steel beams, we need the Xenoferrite to make the advanced machinery parts, to make the casings. Cool. We can do that. Then we need the Ignium powder, which we can make now. We need the liquid fuel, which we can make now because we've got the Olimite. And we're only missing the Technum. And that will be another underground mine, which I will happily do between episodes. And the ship's away. The ship is away and it was 25,000 liters. All right, good. Perfect. That's pretty good, actually. That's really good. So my plan's starting to come together. And if we just take a flight out in this direction, I think it's just around this corner. Let's go over the top. Now, this isn't important immediately, but it will become important. There we go. Now, I blew everything out and I completely exposed this. There was a bit of it sticking out of the mountain, but I exposed this and I've got a nice mining area. Then I just need to add some solar panels and the platform, and then we can send the mineral rock back. This is a big chunk. And while I am still remembering, let me head back over to our Xenoferrite facility and plug those batteries into the solar panels. Okay, we are here. So yeah, thanks for the comments, guys. I would have missed that for a very, very long time. Strangely though, the batteries were almost full. Right, I did expose a little bit more downstairs on this one to put in a second mine. Let's just pop down and have a quick look. We are going to need all of the ore veins down here. Alright, so here's our setup, and I went a little bit further over this way, around the corner, and that is all set up. And I believe this one is a double. Let's do some clearing, shall we? Yes, it's a double. I didn't bring platforms with me, so I don't know how this is going to work out. But there you go. We have another double over here. I have some platforms, so I suppose I could put them in. I don't really need them, other than for making things look pretty. So maybe I'll put them in up to there, just so that we can have some belts loaded, and I'll put down a light and grab another miner. Let's see if I can get that in. Yep, right there. Super. I will merge these two. So let's put that over there. Bring that around to there, and that one around to there. And then we just need to bring power over this way, but I'll take these belts all the way back. Now you see, the thing is, I don't need to take this all the way back. I just need to take it back to here, because 160 times 3 is 480, and this belt carries 640, so I could just bring it back to here. So let's break a couple of pieces out, pop the balancer in, and bring that belt through and into there. Now I just need to drag the power over, plug these machines in, and just like that, we are now getting 480 xenofarad per minute. Fantastic. There we go. It's coming through. It's a bit of a snake, but that's okay. We are going to be getting it. Cool. So we can head back up. And I will see you back at the base. Man, it's so much faster now with this upgrade. I'm looking forward to getting the next one. By the way, I was asked about C3BB. Well, he's got a question mark now. I don't really speak to him during the recording because... yeah, then Carl gets all interested. Oh, okay, I've completed construction industry.
Great work. I'm excited.
Oh, you see what I mean?
It's time to set up our construction industry. We still need to research a building to construct before we can get started.
All right, that's enough, Carl. We haven't done anything with the space station. Hey, look at that. The sun. Oh, I have some R&D work. The light bot, let's see. I'm going to do sales price. That should increase things. Oh, we almost at 400,000. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm going to have to do something with that. Let's have a look at our station upgrades. We've got most of the stuff done. Build a fuel depot. The fuel depot allows us to refuel our spaceships and save additional costs. Well, yeah, that's definitely something I want to do. So let's start that. And we are doing no research currently, so let's have a look at what we could do. So we have the radio tower, we have the scanner, we have the orbital laser, so that like you can level mountains with this thing from your space station. Not something I'm crazy interested in right now, but yes, space lasers are real things. Then we have assembly lines, which I'm very far away from right now. I think freight elevator 3 is the one. No, I'm also far away from that. Olumite barreling. Yeah, I'm not really worried about that. That is so that you can barrel your Olumite to trade it. I don't know if I'm going to be trading it. So that can take a back seat. We can't do science pack 5. Oh my gosh, I'm running out of researchers to do. All right, well, I suppose let's do the radio tower. It's quick and easy. I have crafting speed and inventory that I can also do. Yeah, I'll do that. But yeah, we've made good progress. We're back with more Olumite. So now we have like a 50,000 liter buffer. 25,000 in here. Actually, we've got more because there's another 25,000 at the location that we're pulling it out of the ground. So yeah, we're looking good. Let's just make sure that we're getting enough through. So yeah, as I was saying, those big tanks, I'd like to put one over here for the Olumite so that we've always got a massive supply, and maybe another one over here for water somewhere. But there's a lot of other things that need to be done. But there you go. If you like this video, give us a like. If you want to see more, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications. Leave me your comments, let me know your thoughts. And if you've got any tips and if you've seen anything else that I've missed, we are good on power again. So it doesn't feel like living in my country. And it looks like we're bringing enough in that we could actually increase the number of boilers while we are setting up to produce the fuel rods. Like if I grab one of these, let's just check it out. Yeah, fuel value is 10 megajoules. Ignium fuel rod is 40 times more than that. So basically it's going to last 40 times longer. I think it's worth it. So there you go. Things are starting to come together quite nicely, and we'll be in a position to do all sorts of great stuff as we head to mass producing lots and lots of robots. But thank you very much for joining me, and until next time, cheers.